Good morning, children. We have come to the fifth stanza of your very poem or this unseen comprehension passage, that is Sympathy. There is Sympathy written by Charles Mackay. I lay in sorrow in deep distress. I was suffering sorrow and my condition was very distressful. My grief a bowed man heart. My grief means my pain, my failure. Who heart was hurt by a uh, proud man who was proud of himself or of his wealth or something or his possession. Next, he looks were cold. He gave me gold, but not kindly word. That man, his look was cold. That means was not sympathetic. That man lacks sympathy, and he gave that sad man, the poet here, a piece of gold, a golden coin. But what was not there? There was no kind words. My sorrow passed. I paid him back the gold he gave me. When the sorrow got over, when the bad time got over, the poet returned the gold coin that was given to him by that very man. Then, here we go. Then stood erect and spoke my thanks and blessed his charity. Then he stood up. Stood erect means stood up. Spoke my thanks. Thanked that very man who gave him the gold coin before. And blessed his charity. And thanked him and blessed him for doing such charitable work. I lay in want, in grief and pain. A poor man passed my way. This is the second thing. What we have here? Once the poet was down. In grief and pain, sorrow, suffering and pain and frustration. A poor man passed away. Now a poor man was passing by. Past it was a rich man, now a poor man. He bound my head. He gave me bread. He watched me night and day. And the poor man, he did not give a piece of gold and left the poet. Instead, he stood with him, sat with him, gave him a piece of bread. Had conversation with him. Had some sympathetic exchange of words with him. He watched me day and night and day. A long time they had conversation. A long time that man spent his time with the author. How shall I pay him back again for all he did to me? Before, that first person gave him a piece of gold, the poet returned the piece of gold. Now this is not the situation. The second man, a poor man, given him, provided him with sympathy, words, beautiful words and company. Now the poet is in tension. How can he pay him? How can he pay him back? How shall I pay him back again for all he did to me? Oh, gold is great, but greater for his heavenly sympathy. Gold is obviously great, but what is greater is sympathy. That is heavenly. That is something God gifted. So here ends this beautiful poem. And what we have here, the choose the correct option, that is question A. Today, I think this is the first video that I am not presenting the screen to you. So you should listen to me carefully. If needed, refer this and write down this answer what I am going to give you. Choose the correct option, page number 16. The person who held the poet first time was proud and cold, kind but cold, warm and loving. Number A, proud and cold. Number 2, poor man held the poet with money, kindness and food. It should be B. Obviously he had given food, but more than that it should be kindness, should be B. The first time the poet received help in the form of money, food, kindness. First time he was given gold, so you can consider these as money. Answer the following questions. What was missing from the help the narrator received the first time? What was missing? The help that the narrator received in the first time was a piece of gold, but there was no sympathetic behavior from the giver. So what was missing first time? Sympathy and kindness was missing first time. Why did the narrator stand erect to thank the gentleman who helped him first? The gentleman helped him first with a gold coin, so it was the duty of the poet to say thank to him. And how did he thank him? By standing up. While speaking of people who helped him, the narrator favors one of them. Why does? he do so. The narrator favored the second one, the second giver, the poor man, because the poor man helped him with bread as well as kindness. Why does the narrator describe the sympathy received from the second man is heavenly? When the poet was in distressful condition, the second man did not cross him. Instead, he stood, paused, and listened to him, thanked him. So, the second man gave him time as well as kindness. That is why he considered that one as heavenly, which something is very rare in this earth. That is why heavenly. How are the two people who helped the narrator different? The first person was a proudy person. He believed in earthly possession like money and gold. But the second one was a very spiritual person. He believed in sympathy, and which cannot be purchased by money. Why is paying back one of them difficult in the eyes of the narrator? Paying back the second person was difficult for the narrator because the first person he paid back the money. The second person did not give him money, so how can he pay back? So it was difficult for him to pay back the second person. Which would pay for you if you are in trouble, money or sympathy? Obviously sympathy. Because money that you can get from anyone, but sympathy can be received from the special one only. Money is materialistic, remember the term materialistic, while sympathy is spiritualistic. Find the synonym of the words from the poem. It is written misery, aloof, attain, trouble. Misery you can get in the first page. Sorrow, you can write sorrow. Then it is written need. So let us see the poem. My grief a proud man was hard. Okay, let us see what is that. So second one it is given need, we can write want. So next topic is aloof, we can write past, PASSET. When we are standing in distance, that is called aloof. It is sometimes really hard to exact meaning that to match with the passage. It may not come exact, it will come plausible, almost same. Assistant means actually help, but here we will write bound my head, so bound. Bound means to making bandage or help someone. Attended, we'll use the term watched. Compassion, will use sympathy. Then we have trouble, we'll write distress. And upright, we'll write erect. Rewrite the sentence with capital letters and proper punctuation, that is not at all required for this very topic. So here you conclude this topic once you go through the reading, the paraphrasing that I just made, as well as the question answer that we discussed. So this is the fifth topic that we have done. Thank you.